Hey folks, it's time for yet another custom lesson. This one has been requested by ScaredShiro X. I don't know if I got that right. Guardian Spirit will be Ho-Oh, Soul Cores, anything that can combo with the request weapon. That's a lot of freedom. The weapons will be Sword and Fists. I'm using Scampus Fists because reasons. Enemy will be, as you saw in the thumbnail, and yes, it definitely works for me. I just started Nioh 2 like 2 weeks ago and got halfway to Dream of the Nioh. That's pretty fast. I really don't know what Soul Cores can combo with Sword and Fist. That's the reason why I didn't choose a Soul Core and thought to leave it to the combo master. I don't know if you already have something similar, however I thought I could give it a try. Oh, by the way, I'm running a purified build if that helps. I love your videos, by the way. You are one of the reasons I got Nioh 2 and it was a very good purchase. Thanks for all the compliments, I appreciate that. So because of some of the information you provided with that, I know to focus on purity-based things. So we're using Ho-Oh, and pretty much everything I'm using is going to support purity. There aren't going to be any corruption-based things, but let's just talk about what I started with. Now, with purity-based builds, one of the most popular Soul Cores for at least the stats is White Tiger. White Tiger is great for many reasons that people think I'm out of my mind for, but it's a great core for extreme range, which is what Sword and Fists do not have. You got to be up close and personal. White Tiger is very much the opposite, and you will find yourself in certain situations where you can't catch up to your target, and White Tiger is a pretty good choice in those situations. Now, when it comes to stats, boost this to 30. The Anima bonus enemy purified is actually really good if you use your weapons to inflict purity. If you use a Soul Core, not so much. I've gotten like 5, 6, 7, 8, like in a crazy amount of Anima in the Dark Realm especially with this bonus, and it's great. Purity accumulation is also great. So again, no downside, get this to 30 if you're running a purity-based build. There's so much synergy with Ho-Oh, which is why I put it on there. Otherwise, all I cared about was the Yokai ability Key Pulse. Next, for a gap closer, I decided to use Underworld Soldier. A lot of Anima can be gained if you boost this as well to 30. Anima bonus on grapple is so good, and I'm using Demon Horde weapons, which is what I typically use anyway. But yeah, get it to rank 30. Anima bonus on grapple. Don't have to worry about Anima. It's great. Everything else is extra. Key damage for awakened weapons does not apply because I'm using purity-based weapons, and I already have Yokai ability Key Pulse. Next, to again facilitate with some range, but this time a quicker option, I went with Fuki. Fuki is arguably the Soul Core that I think stands out the most in this setup, simply because, if you didn't know, Fuki does the exact same amount of key damage as Ippon. And the fact is, with Fuki, it's at range. Many moments, you're not going to be close to your target, and Fuki feels so good in those scenarios. You have a lot of range elements to take advantage of that can work well with Sword and Fists. And if you purify a target and you use Fuki a bunch, you do a lot of key damage very, very quickly. You do not need to boost this to rank 30 unless you are attached to these stats. Most of this is fairly redundant and not necessary. So that's enough about that. Now let's get on to the secondary Guardian Spirit, Mizuchi. So I wanted to give you access to extreme power, and what better way to do that than give you water-based damage, which means in best case scenarios, you can inflict confusion. So what'll happen with confusion is this. You purify target, which means they take 50% extra key damage. You saturate them, which means they take 20% extra damage. But because you apply confusion, on top of that, you not only destroy their key recovery, but you also make sure they take an additional 50% damage. So in total, 50% extra key damage, 70% extra damage, and you reduce their key recovery. It is a death sentence for pretty much any opponent, period. So yeah, definitely fun. And since I'm going with water, it works really well on Mizuchi to apply that water bonus, or have that water application go on that more frequently. I was thinking of using Izanagami, but I really wanted to incentivize quick water applications, and Suiki is really, really good for that. Anima bonus, enemy saturated is great. We're not too concerned about this because we're using purity-based weapons. It's nice if you decide to use water talismans, then this can feel pretty good, but it's not really that necessary, so you don't really need to get it to rank 30. But you can if you want. There's no downside to it, basically. Yokai ability Key Pulse is the only stat I was really attached to. Next, we have Kamaitachi. This is a very, very powerful Soul Core. Its key damage and overall raw power is satisfying, and you can combo alongside it using both your weapons. Feels great. I wasn't attached to any of these stats, which is why I didn't boost it at all. Last but not least, we have Bakegani, which is a very efficient option for doing quick water damage, and it has range to it. So you may notice that a lot of these soul cores aren't necessarily about staying up close and personal, except maybe Kamaitachi, but for the most part, they kind of work around your close range weapons. So I had a lot of fun with them. You can boost this up to rank 30. I didn't bother, as you can see, and you can see I didn't care too much about the stats either. I just wanted a Bakegani. So that's pretty much it. Now let's get on to Yokai Shift funsies. Alright, time for Yokai Shift. So let's pop it, and let's see what we can do. So one of my favorite combos to open with, alright, let's get some Anima Charge going. Sweet. Is simply going to be Ho-Oh into White Tiger. It's pretty wild. I have to admit, this Yokai Shift setup is a little strange. For the most part, it's going to feel a little weird to fit an Underworld soldier, but it can be, again, pretty nice. But for the most part, you're going to stay at range when you use this, like almost all the time. There's almost no need to get close to your target, except for the grapple. Seriously, you just stay far away. Okay, you want to see Fuki key damage? That's cute. All right, let's. I'm gonna wait for him to come back up, and then I'll show you Fuki key damage. Right? Look at that. So with 2 quick blasts and with purity applied, I can do a significant amount of overkill key damage. It is phenomenal, and you should definitely abuse that. Now, what about brute form? Brute form is much more combo heavy, but still gonna be a little strange. You can combo with Kamaitachi. Ooh, that's pretty devastating. Bakegani's clutch. Bakegani does a lot of water damage. But for the most part, you're going to be playing almost at mid-range with this, which is a little antithetical. So think of it more as area denial. You can of course use Suiki if you want to. Suiki is quite handy for quick reposition, but yeah, it's rather strange. Your Yokai Shift isn't really going to be close range, but still quite powerful. Ooh, it's still quite devastating. Do not underestimate this. So yeah, Yokai Shift, strange, huh? We gotta be at range for this. Well, now let's get to the weapon-based combos and show you what all this is really about. With these weapons, we're going to be close range, so it can be very I was trying to say tricky and difficult, and it came out as difficult, and then, whatever. Ignore that. We're just going to say it can be tricky. So let's just show you how to work with the ranged options, such as White Tiger, which is going to feel arguably really weird, I have to admit. But if a target is too far away, then don't hesitate to use it. Look at that damage, man. It's quite dirty. Nice. But yeah, there are going to be many moments you're at range, so take advantage of that. Isn't that glorious? Oh, and one other thing. Oh my god, the Q damage. Look at that. Beautiful. One other thing, anytime you're going to go for a grapple, make sure you're in Phantom form because of that Underworld Soldier bonus for the Anima bonus on grapple. You'll get so much Anima back. It's absolutely devastating. Very nice. Here, you want to have some fun? White Tiger! Do White Tiger things! So yeah, it's strange. I have to admit the setup is strange, but it's a very interesting way of comboing against enemies. To have that range element almost at all times. Very awesome. Sweet. Alright, what else can I show you? Very nice. Very nice. That's a good amount of key damage. Pretty sweet. All right, let's show you some more things. But yeah, you don't have to worry about enemies backdashing because you pretty much got every ranged tool at your disposal. See, he backs up a little bit. Glorious. You got mid-range tools that offer some power. And if you're comfortable with fist, you're in good shape. Not to mention, if we're using purity weapons, things will feel extra spicy. So let's show you a couple of more things that you can do. And again, I think the biggest challenge is going to be incorporating these ranged soul cores alongside your melee weapons. Very nice. What you got? Oh, that's cute. I'll just white tiger you if you don't mind. And then Fuki you, and then you won't have any ki. Having that access to like 70% extra damage is pretty beast, I have to admit. Alright, let's just show you one more thing. Let's just show you more things against each of these enemies, and then we'll go from there. You know, I probably should have done something different there. And I will. I actually will show you something a little different. So, Kamaitachi pushed them back. What can we do? Well, you guessed it! We're gonna use something ranged. See, it's kind of cool to brainstorm this stuff. Cute. Maybe I would have been served with a better option. But yeah, this will be fun to brainstorm. So many moments you push targets back, doesn't matter. You got the ranged on your side. Like that. Not too much key damage, right? So let's apply purity. Oh. Purity is ridiculous. Okay. I think that's good enough. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, I don't want to be near you. I'm spooked. That's okay, I'll just do key damage from afar. Alright, let's finish this off with Severing Spin. Will it work? Nope. Fine. Opportunist. Nope. Flash attack, whatever. It doesn't matter. So, it'll take you some practice to get used to the range elements, but once you make it work in your favor, it'll feel pretty darn awesome. So I encourage you to give this a shot. I will see you guys momentarily in the gameplay showcase. Alright, let's put this to the test in a Scroll of the Damned involving a First Samurai version of Otakemaru. So first we gotta deal with these fox spirits, who aren't particularly challenging, they're mostly just annoying because they can just interrupt you, as you saw there. So I'm gonna use as much quick little pressure tools as I can, like Kamaitachi and Severing Spin. I use Bakegani to try to get one of them off. I forgot that the one that I was attacking is actually water resistant, but yeah, not a big deal whatsoever. You may have noticed the anima bonus against an enemy purified took great effect against that fox spirit, so I have enough anima to use White Tiger safely against a Fuki. He shoots a cannon, so do I, and he has very little ki as a result. So let's pressure him, delete his ki. Let's see if I use water. Yup, Bakegani. Look at that damage that I'm about to deal right now. Ooh, sick amount of damage. I was going for the grapple, messed that up, but that's alright. Now I'm just kind of waiting to see what Fuki's gonna do, so I just decide to quickly tap him with the sword ki. Alright, next up we've got more annoying enemies, lightning onibis, so I use the lightning stop talisman so I don't get shocked or electrified, because that's really, really annoying. And Bakegani does some great work there, does a good amount of damage against this lightning resistant fox spirits, but not to worry, I got access to confusion and this thing is dead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, Kinki. Kinki's not too bad. I can basically be really far away. I use White Tiger and it doesn't work too well because elevation is not its strong suit, as many other cores have that issue too. So it sucked in that moment, but if it was on level ground it would have been great. Still, I have applied Purity quite easily, so this is working really well in my favor, and now I go for a Beyond Infinity. And watch this key damage being dealt from just one ability, feels great. Chain it with Suiki, make him entirely useless. Look at that, boom boom. Oh, very nice amount of key damage, enabling me to get a great grapple, and sweet. Really not too bad, I just gotta make sure I don't play like an idiot. Unfortunately, this setup, minus that Fuki shot that I just did, enables me to play relatively well without too much trouble. I can be very confident in this overall package because it works pretty well at range, which is something that both sword and fists lack in general. So one trick for Otakemaru in general is try to hug his back. Try to stay behind him so that you can weave in all sorts of pressure. As you may notice, he's dodging quite frequently across the map, so it can be very troublesome to keep up tabs with him, which is why all of our range tools help so much. Now I'm gonna say I lean a bit much on Fuki, but Fuki works so well, especially when a target is purified. Kamaitachi works well too, and bear in mind, purple enemies are very, very tanky, so the fact that I'm doing pretty easy key damage is a testament to this overall toolkit's power, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as you're weaving in all sorts of combos. Alright, let's see if I can knock him down. The answer is yes. Watch my anima gain. Boom! Enemy purified, got it to max, and now I transition into Yokai Shift to deliver some more power. It's remarkable how much I've grown as a player once I've really tapped into all these soul cores, so I'm sure you'll feel the same way, and you can pull off soul cores like White Tiger safely. Isn't that an oxymoron? But yeah, this Yokai Shift is putting in a lot of good work, and I want you to pay attention to Fuki's key damage. Ready? Alright, here you go. One shot, two shot, out of key. Sweet, and then I transition into Brute Yokai Shift. It feels so effortless when I'm able to easily and safely deplete an enemy's key at range. That's what makes Purity and Fuki so good together. Unfortunately, Otakemaru is overall resistant to confusion, so I really gotta tap into these elements single-handedly. I messed up the grapple there. It's just because I got a little too comfortable with how things are going, but who can blame me? I'm not having that much difficulty. Just stay back, stay behind him, be a little aggressive when you can, use all your tools in order to take advantage of the fact that he's at range. And see, I'm using Fuki, he doesn't have much key left, I just need to make sure to stay on point. Let's use Fuki again. Boom, he's out of key. Let's go, let's get that sweet anima. I'm nearly back to full. Feels great. Alright, what's next? Kamaitachi time. Excellent, doing a good amount of key damage despite the fact that he is not purified, which is again awesome. If you didn't know, Kamaitachi does do more key damage than Fuki. But Fuki's still great because it's so damn quick. Alright, let's get that sweet anima back. I mean, that anima bonus from the grapple courtesy of Underworld Soldier is so good. That's why I can use Fuki as frequently as I can to basically neuter all of his ki. Let's get him down. I use Underworld Soldier. I think this is like the only time I use it. And let's get back into Yokai Shift. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy powered. Alright, let's go. Let's do that whole White Tiger combo. Didn't work the best because Otakemaru was in the air, unfortunately. Deplete his ki using Fuki, who cares? Let's go in, back into Brute Yokai Shift, and let's finish this off with some crazy power. So, alright, Mizuchi into Kamaitachi, charge up, and he dodges away, but Bakegani catches him and seals the deal. Excellent. This setup is very, very powerful. Even if an enemy resists a particular element, usually they won't resist Purity. And so you got access to a ton of power with this. So I hope you enjoyed this setup. It is really, really powerful, a lot of fun. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will of course see you guys next time.